on this. I mean, I don't understand. And look, he's driving the car. He's the only one on the street. I'm starting to believe that what you're going through is real now. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm believing it too. This guy is trapped in another dimension.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Curiosities. It's been a minute. It's been a real busy week for me. So, if you haven't seen a video from me in a few days, it's because, there's a lot going on. But anyway, I don't have it nearly as bad as some people, in this world. And I'm pretty sure you guys can relate. Now, there's a wonderful story. It's this really crazy story that I want to share with you. And it's on Yahoo News. But it's a fascinating story, and I want to share this one with you. I'm curious to see what you guys think on the other side of this when we finish this. So let's just look at the headline right now. It reads, "Group of friends take over Nashville hotel for hours after no employees were found." So just to give you some premise here, these three guys show up at this hotel, this La Quinta, I think it is. And they arrive to check in. It's late. And turns out that there's nobody there. There's no one. There's no check-in person. There's no way for them to actually check into their room. So after a late night of partying, the trio was unable to check into their room at La Quinta Inn and Suites because there was no employees in sight. So they actually posted this on TikTok, I think, to share their experience, which is something that I'm pretty sure got a lot of hits. I'm not sure how many views, but the quote from the TikTok says, "When you arrive to the hotel and there is no staff, so you have a new job. We've been working for 2 hours." So they're actually documenting what they're doing. They were actually they were taking the place of the hotel workers, the staff, for a number of hours. So clearly whoever was there when they did the shift, the person who was taking over the shift clearly wasn't there. So these two show up and they just decided they're just going to start doing the work. I don't know how they figured that out. I don't know how they managed to just figure that stuff out like right away. Who knows? But let's see. After checking in, make sure no one had fallen asleep behind the desk or in one of the back offices, because that would have been my assumption. If I walk into a hotel and there's nobody at the front desk, I'm thinking they're probably in the back, and if you're calling out and nobody's answering, they're probably busy doing something, So they go back there. They don't find anybody. The friends began to answer the phones. They started to greet the customers. And they even set up the breakfast buffet. My goodness. I mean, I don't know if I could do all that. I'm pretty sure they eventually called the police, and the police came, or somebody came and relieved them. We're going to get to that as we read on to the story. It goes, they did manage to find one employee. They found a maid who didn't know what was going on, but said she had not seen anyone in a couple of hours. So she was clearly working, doing cleaning. Who knows what she was doing, but she was probably just minding her own business. They also reached out to the general manager, who was on a business trip in California and wasn't aware that there was no employees on the floor. So imagine that. They found the number to the manager. They call this dude up and they're like, "Hey, there's nobody here, man. We're not from the corporation or anything. We show up and there's nobody here." And the guy's like, "Yeah, I had no idea." This is so weird to me. So instantly we're like manager mode. We ran business back home. We run businesses back home. He says, "Manager mode kicks in. All right. Let's see what we could do." Kenzie, one of the friends, shared. So these dudes took it upon themselves. They took the initiative and said, "I don't know if I could. Maybe I don't know if I was in that situation. I'm not sure if I would do that. Would you do that?" It's kind of strange to me. To make a long story short here, these people did decide they were going to take over this management position. They were going to take over and manage this hotel. Okay. And they did so for a number of hours until somebody came. But do you think that's the end of the story? Not by a long shot. Check this out. All right. So what happens later on is they managed to hold the fort down until a Quinta Inn employee showed up. By then, the trio had managed to get everyone settled in. Now imagine, during that time, they're getting phone calls. People are complaining. They're like, "Hey, I got charges to my room." The friends then asked if they could check into their room. The employee told them that they would be charged a $25 resort fee. So after all that, they were going to have to pay. That's crazy, man. A short time later, the general manager shows up and he says, hold up a second. These fellas here took care of things while, they could have robbed us. They could have done all kinds of things. They saved the day. We're not going to charge them for that hotel room. Give them the luxury suite, right? That's right. The manager says, after he was caught up with all the drama that ensued, they were met with utter disbelief and gratitude for holding the hotel down. We'll get them checked in. We're not charging you anything, the manager says. You did a fine job, you excellently fine young man. We're going to take care of you. We're going to give you the luxury suite, right? So the dudes, headed up to the 6th floor to decompress in one of the only rooms available, thinking everything was just fine. But do you think everything was fine? As soon as they entered the room, they spotted a naked woman inside. Imagine that. Like you walk in, there's this naked woman in there. Who knows what their reaction was? They said, the lady proceeded to tell them that she would be staying at the hotel for the next 2 weeks. The friends let her know they were not trying to steal her room and that they had received these keys from the manager. So that must have been a pretty awkward moment when she's like, these guys are in here to try to assault me. Who knows? And they're like, yo, hold on a second. This is 2023. Everything gets taken out of context here. No. So they went back to the lobby for the last time to let the manager know what happened. So do you think the manager says, 1,000 apologies, let me get you into another room? What do you think the guys are going to do? According to this article here, they said, no, thank you. After they reported what they saw to the Holiday Inn general manager, Kenzie asked if they could stay at his hotel. Can we please just go stay at your hotel? Because this has just honestly been a... Needless to say, that La Quinta in Nashville is pretty dysfunctional, right? It's a crazy thing. They said the friends ended up with 3 suites and free breakfast after the manager makes a call back to his hotel, gushing over how amazing they had been. That's crazy, man. That's really crazy. Anyways, I'm curious to see what your thoughts are. Let me know what you're thinking in the comments or DM me. I'm just glad to be back on the video, because it's been a crazy busy week for me, and I just wanted to just say thank you for hanging with me. Until next time, God bless.
New Kingdom Radio Theater.